So the Vision series has been given a release date of 2026. Well, sometime in 2026, and
Right.
Terry Metalis will be the showrunner, who was also the showrunner on. Oh shoot, I can't remember. I have to bring the article up. Picard.
That's a long name. Oh, the card. I'm not familiar with that at all. Is that a sports memorabilia show or?
You're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Picard,
No, I know.
Captain
No,
Picard,
no. Oh,
the Star
Picard,
Trek
not
show
the
from
card.
the.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Picard, Picard.
Pa 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 pa. Pa 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 pa.
Oh my
Okay,
God!
got you.
We just created a clip for Randy.
Yes, we'll be on the next one. I'm
um,
not playing an idiot though. I'm really not smart. Uh,
have you watched Picard? I don't have Paramount, so I haven't watched it.
no.
Uh,
I like Star Trek, but not enough, I guess. I grew up with my grandma watching The Next Generation and all the Star Trek movies back in the day. I've seen the new reboots and I don't think they're horrible, but um I'm team Star Wars, obviously, when it comes to that. And I've just not heard anything about the new Star Trek shit that has made me think, oh, I should watch that. So
yeah, I agree. Um,
I'd love to see how the Klingon, and maybe this is something that's out there and I'm just not enough of a Star Trek fan to know about, but I'd love to see a show or movie about like how the Klingons came into the Federation. How did they go from like being warrior Klingons, like the Federation did not have the easiest time assimilating them. But then, so anyway, I'm ignorant when it comes to Star Trek, so the answer's probably out there. But that's what interests me. Like, how do the
yeah,
Klingons like come into the Federation when obviously they're the enemies for a lot of it?
one of the things that drives me nuts about Star Trek, and people don't realize, is that like, um, the copyrights for things are split up between a bunch of different studios, right? Like, because it was
Mm-hmm.
Lucy Liu Studios, Lucille Ball, who's the one who started Star Trek. Paramount owns part of it, and there's another distributor that owns part of it, um, from when it was on TV. So, like, people don't like the Klingons look different all the time
Yeah.
because the there's weird copyrights around it. And there's some other character like the uniforms keep changing because of copyright laws, so they just change them.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite annoying, right? Because the Klingons in Brave New World, I think that's not Brave New Worlds, Discovery. No, I can't remember the show. Maybe it is Discovery. Yeah, the first one that was on Paramount Plus. Like the Klingons don't look anything like any past version of the Klingons from TV or the movies,
Yeah, I
anything.
remember that controversy. Yeah, but to me, Star Trek was always good with the original show, with its original like modus operandi, which is this is the Enterprise. It discovers new worlds and planets.
Right.
Go. That I don't want to get into any other minutia other than this is the Enterprise. Here's the planet they
And
discovered, and go.
but the funny thing is I've always been a fan since the Next Generation, and I've appreciated Star Trek and Star Wars for what they were individually. And Star Trek was always more cerebral and a study of humanity and how we interact um and all those kinds of things. And there was some action, but it was more about the relationships and the interactions and those kinds of things. And then as soon as the reboot movies came out, and all of a sudden it was big chase scenes and explosions, and it
Yeah.
became more not not quite Star Wars. Became more like, I don't know, Indiana Jones in space. It's all changed since then, and I've heard that about the shows too. They're more along those lines now, than what they used to be. What is Thrawn or Sansa? Except DS9 exists, and it is great. Yeah, no, DS9 is the best one. DS9 is the only one. I mean, I went to a couple Star Trek conventions in the '90s, and uh, I unfortunately know a lot about Star Trek. Um, DS9 was the only one where they actually had a plan from episode 1 to the final episode in season 7. Like, they knew where the characters were gonna start and end, and, like, yeah, things changed a little bit along the way, but they stuck pretty much to the plan, and I think that's why DS9 works, in my opinion, the best. Like, they knew where the characters were starting and where they wanted them to end up at the end, but, it's also the one that gets referenced the least, I think, um, in some of these future like, I don't think anyone from correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anyone from DS9 was in Picard, where they did have characters from Voyager in Picard. So, because 7 and 9 was in it, so, yeah.
You know what always made it hard for me to be a Star Trek fan, and I get made fun of this? I can't do the Spock thing at all. I just can't fucking do it. No matter
See,
how
and
hard, yeah.
if you can do it with
I
2 hands, you can go, "Nanu, Nanu," which is even better.
yeah. I don't know. I'm some form of mongoloid that just can't do it. Um I don't know. So yeah, that's a big part
Um, but we were talking about the Vision, uh,
of
and
it. Is
his
that where
new
we're going with
show,
this?
um, and we talked about it the other day when they did announce they were gonna do it, but waiting till 2026, like,
It's not coming out, bro.
you don't think so?
No, because no one cares about Vision now. Imagine how much we're not going to care about Vision 2 years from now. Like,
That's what my like, that was the thing, and that was the buzz on social media I kept seeing when people were talking about this, like, why all of a sudden now is there new interest in, doing the Vision show where no one's talking about him, and then to wait a year and a half, at least, 2 years before the show's gonna come out. No one's gonna care by the time it comes out
yeah,
unless you use Vision and other things before that.
they need to let the Vision character die and
Well,
let
that's
Paul Bettany play Professor Xavier, maybe? Like,
you're not the first to say that.
sure, it makes perfect sense to me, to be honest. Vision even kind of looks like a robotic Professor Xavier and sounds like him. So let that character be done because, right, aren't we done with Scarlet Witch? Because what's her name? Elizabeth Olsen or whatever. She doesn't seem like she's coming back for the character. And they totally made her a villain. So yeah, the show's not even coming out. That's all there is to it. It's not coming out. We're not going to care.
They can't even write a basic Blade script to start filming that. Well, yeah, there's lots of rumors about the Blade. We've talked about those. It's gone over quite a few rewrites. Uh,
So
Worf
Kasan
from
says, well, yeah, the next generation to DS9 to Picard season 3.
yeah,
Worf is a very popular character, and I know that because one of my favorite things to trigger Star Wars or Star Trek fanboys with, and there's a lot in my D&D groups over the years, is I straight say Chewbacca versus Worf, Chewbacca wins, and they go ape shit over that. Did you know? So anyway, um, Worf is a cool Star Trek character, but no, oh sorry, Chewbacca is kicking his ass every time. I
I'm
don't. It's
curious.
just it always flared us up, and so I always had to go there.
It's funny now. You got me thinking. Who's the stronger character? It might be Chewbacca. It might be stronger, but like they've never really shown how strong he is in
Yeah.
the movies. So interesting. Um, Thrawn says Vision would Vision would have to be a second banana in his own show for it to get views. Ow.
Well, well, right. Like it's gonna have to like feature Ultron or some shit, which
Well,
absolutely is gonna
yeah.
be way more interesting
Well, that
than
was
Vision.
that was my point when we talked about this last time. When they said they were definitely doing the show, was that all the things that made Vision interesting in the comic, they totally blew over, and you can't go back and do that now. Where it and the whole like it's weird in the movies because Scarlet Witch and Vision have a relationship. She has a relationship with an android, where in the comics it was she had a relationship with Wonder Man, and his mind ended up in Vision's body to save him, and that's why they had a relationship in the comics, and that made sense. But like, she just fell in love with an android, and Vision is
Well, Dragon Ball Z exists, where one of its main characters also fucks an android. So it was normalized, I guess, which is why we accept it more.
um, and that's the other thing too, right? Because Vision, I want to say the last 2-3 decades, at least the last 2 decades, whenever they want a character they want to just kill without repercussions because he's just an android and they can fix him, is Vision. He's been killed so many times in the comics, it's not even funny. It's gotten to the point where you see him blow up and like you don't even care because it's like
Yeah.
he'll be back in the next book. They'll rebuild him like he's just an android. So
They'll Humpty Dumpty him. Yeah.
yeah, and I agree. Like I don't think I don't. You guys are right with everything they've done to the character in the shows and the movies and so forth. He's not an interesting character on his own. He has to be a foil against someone, and I don't think they have a plan because 2026 is not tomorrow. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.